Good evening and welcome to Jeo Tv online news at 9. I'm Anifat Ismail. The news headlines. Tinubu calls for action to combat terrorism, cybercrime in Africa. Federal government unveils portal to track teachers nationwide. Matawale urged stronger African unity, tech-driven defense against terrorism. Federal government wants offloading in 9 northern states, 14 communities. NANS vow critical asset shutdown over ASU strike threat. PSC laments poor funding, hijack attempt. NSA Ilorin opens 2025 Engineering Week, highlights achievements and calls for stronger professional unity. Man seeks suspension of custom 4% FOB charge implementation. Now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has stressed the need for collective action and cooperation among African nations to effectively combat terrorism, cybercrime, transnational crime, and other forms of insecurity on the continent. Tinubu who stated this on Monday when he declared open the maiden edition of the African Chiefs of Defense Staff Summit 2025 in Abuja, said there must be a framework for African defense institutions to speak with one voice and act with one purpose. President Tinubu, who was represented at the summit by Vice President Kashim Shettima, said the extreme scale of threats across Africa has made it a must for nations to pause and reflect. The federal government has unveiled a digital portal designed to provide a credible database of Nigerian teachers, streamline licensing, and promote professionalism in the teaching sector. The portal was launched in Abuja by the Teacher Registration Council of Nigeria in partnership with the United Kingdom Fund Partnership for Learning for All in Nigeria program. Speaking at the event, the Minister of State for Education, Professor Shuaiba Ahmad, said the initiative marked a new chapter for teacher management in the country. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, has urged African nations to deepen collaboration and embrace modern technology to confront the continent's worsening security threats. The minister stated this while speaking at the opening of the African Chiefs of Defense Staff Conference in Abuja. Matawale, who represented the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Abubakar, warned that the challenges facing Africa were serious, complex, transnational, and increasingly asymmetric. The federal government has warned that 9 states and 15 communities across the northern region may experience heavy rainfall that could trigger flooding between August 25 and 29, 2025. The alert was issued on Monday by the Federal Ministry of Environment, National Flood Early Warning Center, and signed by the Director of Erosion, Flood and Coastal Zone Management Department. It further directed residents of communities along the floodplain from Jeba to Lokoja to evacuate immediately as the River Niger's water level continues to rise. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has threatened to shut down critical infrastructure nationwide if the federal government fails to meet the demands of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, which has again warned of possible nationwide strike. NAN's Assistant General Secretary Emmanuel Adejuwon expressed deep concern over ASU's latest threat, vowing that the union will mobilize Nigerian students for massive nationwide protests that will shut down roads, airports, government offices, and critical infrastructure. The Police Service Commission has lamented inadequate funding and what it described as persistent attempt by vested interests to hijack its constitutional mandates of recruitment, promotion, and discipline in the Nigerian police force. A statement by the Commission spokesman, Ikechukwu Ani, said the PSC chairman, DIG Ashimo Agugu, raised his content while receiving a presidential delegation led by the Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination and head of the Central Results Delivery Coordination Unit. Agugu warned that such interference, if not curbed, could compromise the Commission's ability to deliver a police force suited for 21st century policing. The Nigerian Society of Engineers Ilorin branch on Monday commenced activities marking its annual engineering week with the theme Engineering Sustainable Mobility, Passenger Rail as the backbone of Nigeria's public transport. The 2025 Engineering Week will feature technical sessions, lectures, networking events, and outreach programs aimed at promoting engineering innovation and sustainable development. Speaking at a press conference held at the Branch Engineering Center, Tanke Ilorin, the 23rd chairman of the branch, Engineer Dr. Olushola Adetona Ogujiri, outlined the progress of the society under his leadership and reaffirmed its commitment to professional excellence, ethical engineering practice, and community impact. Ogujiri recalled that NSE Ilorin, established in 1968 as a pioneer branch in Kwara State, has expanded to give rise to Omaran and other branches. He said the current executive has focused on transparency, efficiency, and respect for others, while ensuring inclusivity in administration.
About the branch, NSC Ilorin was established in 1968 as the only branch in the entire state of Kwara. The branch has grown in leaps and bounds to establish Umaran branch and recently of a branch. It has continually upheld the commitment to professional excellence, ethical engineering practice, and the advancement of its members. The present executive under my leadership is committed to continuous improvement of governance, structures to ensure transparency, respect to our elders, uniformity and efficiency in the administration of the branch.
The chairman also celebrated the investiture of Engineer Jani Ibrahim as the 23rd National President of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, describing it as a milestone achievement for the Ilorin branch.
Personality, Engineer Dr. Jani Ibrahim, his investiture as the 23rd National President of Nigerian Association of Chamber of Commerce, Industries, Mines and Agriculture. It's so interesting because I'm the 23rd chairman and it's also the 23rd president. So I noted it since the day it was pronounced as during the investiture.
He therefore emphasized that NSC remains a decentralized and non-religious professional body focused on advancing engineering practice and fostering unity.
The Nigerian Society of Engineers is a body that looks into the welfare of its members in engineering practice, NSC is a detribalized and non-religious body that only come together to share experience and compare notes through meetings, technical sessions. Thus, the thought might be technical or social in nature.
The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, has called on the federal government to halt the implementation of the 4% free on-board charge on imports by the Nigeria Customs Service. MAN expressed strong objection to what it termed as subtle introduction of the 4% FOB charge, in contravention of the earlier widely publicized suspension of the charge by the federal government. And that will be all on Just Events Online News at 9. Here is the recap of the story. Tinubu calls for action to combat terrorism, cybercrime in Africa. Federal government unveils portal to track teachers nationwide. Matawale urged stronger African unity, tech-driven defense against terrorism. Federal government wants a flooding in 9 northern states, 14 communities. Nance vows critical asset shutdown over ASU strike threats. PSC laments poor funding, hijack attempts. NSC Ilorin opens 2025 Engineering Week, highlights achievements and calls for stronger professional unity. MAN seeks suspension of customs 4% FOB charge implementation. Thank you for watching Just Events Online News. At times, all you need is to leave your past behind and focus on your present with sincere mind. For more news, visit www.justeventsonline.com, and to read more updates, follow us on our social media platforms with a tab at Just Events Online. You can also send us an email on justeventsonline@gmail.com. I'm Anifat Ismail. Good night.